Welcome back. Let's talk about some echinoderms, the sea stars. Echinos means spiny. You can see that here. Echinos means spiny, and derm means skin. The echinoderms include the sea stars, the sea cucumbers, sea urchins, sand dollars, and brittle stars. The adults have a pentaradial symmetry. And you can see that right here in this specimens, for example, how we got these five limbs coming out of a central part. And that penta means five here. Penta means five. The early larval stage shows bilateral symmetry before the penta radial symmetry. So there is some bilateral symmetry as well in them. They have a calcareous endoskeleton made of ossicles. And the epidermal cells may display vivid colors, as we can see in these beautiful looking things up here. And they also, though, have toxins on them. A unique water vascular system is present within their coelom. And that system has a central ring canal with radial canals extending along each arm. And you can see that here. You got that central, this blue thing, the central canal, and then these radial canals extending. Here, see the central ring canal extending down each arm. Water enters and exits a madreporite, which is a filter-like structure. You can see that right here on top. It regulates the amount of water in the system. So circulating water exchanges gases, extracts nutrients, eliminates waste, and helps with locomotion as well. The vascular system of echinoderms have attached tube feet, and they protrude through the endoskeleton. And you can see them right in here. You see there is this is one of the tube feet, and you can see how it has a podium, a foot here that extends through the body, and those then may expand or contract using hydrostatic pressure that the vascular system creates. And this is the locomotion. This allows for slow movement, but also what's really cool, it creates great suction power that can grasp onto prey and pull it towards it. And even as we can see here in this really interesting specimen, which looks like it's walking, right? But what it actually also could be doing is these feet down here, they attach to this bivalve and they're pulling it open. They're that strong that they can do that. And then from there, of course, they can then attack the prey. There is no centralized nervous system. A nerve ring at the center has 5 radial nerves extending outward. Echinoderms have separate sexes, each releasing gametes into the water where then they fertilize. They also, though, may regenerate from body parts and can reproduce that way asexually. And we call that the fragmentation. We have 5 classes of echinoderms. We have Asteroideas, and those are our sea stars, and they're best known for their large variety of shapes, colors, and sizes. They have these thick arms that extend from the central disc, and they have 2 stomachs. One everts through the mouth, secreting digestive juices into prey, then liquefying it, making digestion easier for them. And you can see that right in here. You see how that stomach comes out in here. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, they have some very interesting adaptations. Ophioidea are brittle stars, and they have long, thin arms without any organs in them. Echinoidea are sea urchins and sand dollars, and they do not have arms, but are hemispherically or flattened with 5 rows of tube-like feet. And they just look so pretty, and you can see that right here, the tube-like feet coming out, these leaves. They look like leaves. Crinoidea are sea lilies and feather stars. They are stalked suspension feeders, and they are just really gorgeous. Look at them right here. And then the Holothuroidea are the sea cucumbers, and they're soft-bodied, elongate with 5 rows of tube feet. Around the mouth, they also form tentacles, and that help with feeding. All right, let's now finish this chapter off with the chordates. And the chordates, the name is referring to the fact that they're having a notochord. The majority of them are vertebrates, which include lampreys, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and also the mammals. And all chordates have 4 key features appearing at some stage in their development. Now, that doesn't mean they have it all throughout their life. That could mean they have it during the embryonic stage and then it disappears. But through any of the stages, they have those key features. And they are a flexible, rod shaped notochord that lies between the digestive tube and the nerve cord. And it provides skeletal support through the length of the body. And you can see that right here. You can see the notochord right in here. And that's that brownish looking rod thing that's between the yellow, the dorsal nerve cord, which yellow is always referring to nerve, and then also here the digestive tube, which is this red thing. We're going to get to these pharyngeal slits in a moment. That's another one of those features. In vertebrates, the notochord is only present in the embryo, where it supports the developing body and helps make the neural tube. It is replaced then by the vertebral column, which is our spine. A dorsal hollow nerve cord, which derived from the ectoderm actually, that sinks then below the skin surface and rolls into a hollow tube. And most embryo then it develops into the brain and spinal cord, which is our central nervous system. And you see that right in here. That's that same thing. It's the same picture. That's that nerve cord, and that's here. Dorsal hollow nerve cord. Pharyngeal slits posterior to the mouth open to the outside. And in aquatic animals, water entering through the mouth exits the slits, which are modified into gills. And in tetrapods, which tetrapods are the 4-legged animals, the amphibians, the reptiles, the birds, and the mammals, and yes, the birds are in there, they are modified in them into components of the ear and tonsils. Now that's interesting, isn't it? And then we have also a post-anal tail. Oh, I didn't show you the pharyngeal slits. Look, they're right here. Pharyngeal slits. And they're like, in the fish, you could see the gills. It's looking like that. And then the last thing we're looking at is the post-anal tail, and that's here in the back. And that contains skeletal and muscle parts. And it provides a source of locomotion and helping with balance and even cording and signaling when danger is near. And I have to write that down there because I want to not forget. But that's the dog, my dog, or any dog, of course, wagging its tail in excitement or putting it between the legs when it's in a fear moment, for example. And then in us, we still have a tail in the embryonic stage that helps with the development, but then it's reduced in adults, or as we are born, it's already reduced. As we said, most of the chordates are vertebrates, but we have a couple that are invertebrates. And we have the tunicates, the Urochordata. We also know them as sea squirts. And they have a cellulose-like carbohydrate shell called the tunic covering their body. And that's where their name comes from, the tunicates. And larvae in them have all 4 key features that we just described. So, and after hatching, they swim a few days. And then what they do, they attach their head into a substrate, which is mostly a dark shaded shallow ocean water area. And then they undergo metamorphosis and become sessile plankton filter feeders. And so what you see here is you see a few of them in the sessile stage colony. And then down here you see the larva stage. You see you have the pharyngeal slips, we have the nerve cord, the tail, and the notochord. But then when we look at them turning into an adult after metamorphosis, that looks very, very different. And in them, the seawater, so they're sessile now, they are moving. They need they can't move anymore. And so seawater enters through them through a incurrent siphon, and then it passes over the pharyngeal slits, which are coated with mucus, and that trap food particles and oxygen. And then through ciliary action, the particles move along the intestine and then expel to the through the anus into the current siphon, and then the water and the waste goes to the outside. And you see that here, how we have the insert, the mouth, it comes in, it enters the pharyngeal slits right here, and then we got the stomach, the digestive system, and here it exits through the anus. And then the other one we have are the lanceolate, and these are the cephalochordatas or chordatas. And they have all features through their life cycle. They don't lose. Yeah, as we've seen here in this stage, we're pretty much losing all the features except for the pharyngeal slits. But the lanceolates keep them. And a notochord is reaching into the head on them, and that's why they are known as cephalochordata, because cephala refers to the head. And they have a dorsal hollow nerve cord, like these are all the features, and also pharyngeal slits and a post-anal tail. What they do is interesting. They suspend in the sand at the bottom of warm tropical seas with their head sticking out. And then there they become suspension feeders as well, like the tunicates were over here. So here you could see them. We got the notochord, we got the nerve cord, we got the slits, and we got the post-anal tail. So we got all the features. All right, well, that covers this chapter. Very good job, and we'll keep going now to talk about the vertebrates next.